Thailand's COVID-19 task force has tightened curbs as the country scrambles to stem a fresh outbreak. Schools and nightlife venues are forced to shut for at least 2 weeks, and gatherings of over 50 people also banned. The new curbs will be effective until the end of this month. Saksit Sombat joins us live from Bangkok. Saksit, break down all these new measures for us. And why do you think the Prime Minister is adamant that there will be no curfew or lockdown?
Yes, indeed. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha was pretty adamant that there is no curfew and no lockdown. And he also said that very much in the same emphasis that I just told you the news here. Very much so because not only he emphasized that the burden on the people if there would be a very hard lockdown, similar to what we had last year during the first wave of the COVID-19 pandemic here in Thailand, but also very much it will have a catastrophic economic effect here in Thailand as well. And this comes at a time when at the end of the Songkran festival, the Thai New Year's, where a lot of people are traveling, or at least now when a lot of people are already returning to Thailand, it is expected that a lot of cases, the number of cases will shoot up even higher than it already has in the past couple of days, where we had now a daily record for 3 days, 3 or 4 days in succession, rather I have to say here. Now, the measures that are going to come in effect on this Sunday are not a complete lockdown, but they will affect a lot of businesses and a lot of people, especially in 18 provinces, including the capital Bangkok, including Chiang Mai, including Phuket. And for instance, mainly the in-dining times will be restricted to 9 p.m. There will be no alcohol being served anywhere. All nightlife entertainment venues in all provinces will be closed, as well as schools will be closed. There will be no gatherings of more than 50 people. And while there's no lockdown and there's no curfew, people are still free to move around. A lot of people are also now being asked to work from home. So it is not a complete lockdown, but definitely there will be more stringent measures coming in the next 2 weeks for the rest of the month. And if the situation doesn't improve, the situations could be even more stringent, or if it improves, they could be also relaxed. But that depends how this will go.
Now, also, the Prime Minister touched on Thailand's vaccine rollout, which so far has only covered less than 1% of the population. Is anything going to be done to speed things up?
There has been a lot of criticism to Thailand's vaccine policy and vaccine rollout. You just said less than 1% since the program has begun at the end of February. So we have 69 million people. The goal is to have herd immunity at around 60% either by the end of the year or early next year. So at this rate, we will definitely going to miss. And right now, the approach still has been that the majority of the inoculation, the majority of the vaccine doses are going to be produced here in Thailand, the AstraZeneca type, by a local pharmaceutical company that also happens to be owned by the king. Now, definitely there has been a lot of pressure on the government to procure more vaccines, and that's why last week already he announced that the government is looking to enable private hospitals to be able to acquire and administer their own vaccines. So basically, whoever can afford it may be able to cut the line. But also, the government has already been in talks, and he insisted that they have always been in talks with other manufacturers, and they will be going forward with maybe also procuring from, for example, from the Sputnik vaccine from Russia and also the Pfizer vaccine. Now, right now, only 3 kinds of vaccines have been approved. The AstraZeneca kind, the one from Sinovac, and also Johnson & Johnson. But that is not being available here in Thailand yet. Now, we are already seeing here that there is some race against time here, especially if Thailand wants to reopen the country, especially for the also vital tourists and the also vital tourism industry here in Thailand.
Thanks very much for getting things up to speed on the COVID-19 situation in Bangkok. Saksit Sombat there.